Greetings, everyone. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. My wife got me this T-shirt from Seattle, and it's got the line from The Princess Bride. And for those of you who have not seen it, it's one of the world's great movies. But greetings, it's Canada Day today, and I'm very, very pleased to have Cesare with me from Italy. From how do you pronounce it properly?
Colognole. Accent of the second O.
Got it. I'll let you do it. That's just easy. Today's not a good day for me in pronunciations. We're going to talk Italy, and we're going to talk Chianti, not Chianti Classico, but Chianti Rufina. There are 7 zones in Italy for Chianti. Of course, Classico is the most famous, but you need to look at, I always like going to other areas where you can find some really interesting wines and some very good wines. So let's talk about Chianti Rufina. Tell us why, tell us about, well, the region, the wine, why it's not as well known.
Yeah. My major point would be stating that the Sangiovese is a very difficult varietal and a very flexible varietal that can behave very differently in the different zone it is planted. So if you move from the northern part of Tuscany, where basically we are here in the close to the Apennines Mountains, and if you move down to Florence and to the south of Florence, to the west, totally different kind of territories, different altitudes, different kind of soil as well, and the Sangiovese is moving down from the northern part up to Morellino in Maremma, changing completely the style of the wine and the elegance and the more effort, the more energy and things depending on it. So we need really to think about the Sangiovese to be a delicate grapes that needs really to be grown with paying attention to each single detail.
Now this is the estate?
This is our estate.
The whole estate or part of the estate?
It's just part of the estate. It is the biggest part of it, yeah.
So how many hectares is this, and how many hectares is the whole estate?
Total estate will be 700 hectares, and this is the major spot, which is around 400 to 420 hectares.
Wow.
So it will be the central spot where we've been replanting most of our vineyards, and then the property climbs up towards the mountain. We arrive up to 1,000 meters, where obviously until now we don't have planted any vineyard, any olives, because it's too high.
Too high. All right. Very cool. So it's its own little environment, right? Very cool. So now look at this Chianti. This is the 2006 Chianti Rufina. Now look at the color. The color is translucent. It's not the black color that you see in some Chiantis. Why? A lot of the big names that you see in the market put Cabernet and Merlot, and it only takes about 5% really to change the color of Sangiovese.
Yeah.
And this is 90% Sangiovese and 10% Colorino? Colorino. So it's got almost a Burgundian-like color to it. On the nose, it's got a kind of a mineral slate end. There's earth, mushroom, there's a real, I call it in French, sous-bois. What's the Italian version of terroir or underbrush?
I might say that the French gave this terroir name that we use it as well, because it's probably the most, let's say, complete way to represent the 3 important, let's say, parameters that influence the wine: the varietal, the territory, and the climate. The 3 things together makes the terroir, and we don't actually have a real name to support it. We say all together, and we call it terroir as well.
Perfect. So an international name. So on the palate, higher acidity to it. It's very vibrant. For those of us who like sort of fruit-forward wines, I don't think this would be the one for them. But if you like classic Italian wines that work well with tomato dishes, meat dishes, risotto,
soup, legume soup,
things like this, is absolutely stunning. It's delicious wine. I love it. You know, what else can you say about Chianti Rufina before we go on to the Reserva?
As you were stating, I think that his real essence is to be matched with food. So in an average meal that we have in our territory, that might move from a vegetable soup to risotto to a pasta to white meat, because we have a lot of white meat there.
Yep.
And this really stands clean. As you were stating, you have some nice earthiness and tannins that are getting ripe, and the climate we have allows to get the tannins a little riper and to blend with the nice acidity that keeps the wine still young.
I think it's great.
I would say that, yeah.
$25, right? $25 here.
Exactly.
I think it's great value, and it's a good, authentic representation of what Chianti as a whole, Chianti Rufina, does. I think so.
Absolutely. You were saying before the Pinot Noir. I think that Pinot Noir and Sangiovese are two very difficult varietals. To have good result in Pinot Noir, you need really to focus and to be very close to your vineyard. And same thing on Sangiovese. If you really want to have the best result without making an easier task to blend it with Merlot
Right.
or Cabernet or something else that could get it simpler, you need to work on Sangiovese and you need to follow each single step,
Yeah.
which is the density of the vineyard, which is let's say the quantity, the yield per hectare, and the vinification and things in order to get but when it's good, Sangiovese doesn't need anything.
It's great. Let's move on to the Reserva.
Yeah. Then Reserva, this is 100% Sangiovese. It's a small selection of the best grape we can.
Where is it in the vineyard?
In the vineyard for the 2006 has been mainly selected in this upper part here, which is the oldest vineyard that we have been replanted. That means new generation anyhow, because for 95 we started replanting all the vineyard here. So this one was the first to be replanted in this 95, and so the most of it come from here, and a little bit from the upper part of this Rogaille vineyard, which was becoming, is still probably our best Sangiovese at this time. The best clone, the best soil. So up to now is the one we are more confident of.
A little darker in color,
Yeah.
but still not like it has Cabernet or Merlot in it.
Exactly.
Still a little, a little translucent, a little brickish edge around the rim of the glass. The nose is far more complex. Ooh, that's really good.
Yeah. I think if you move from here to here, there is a certain consequence in terms of style, of aromas, but everything is a little more. There's a little more complexity, a little more color, a little more tannins, a little more balance, a little more finesse.
But in an elegant way, not in a robust, meaning it's not 14% alcohol, it's not big and rich in glycerin, it's balanced, it's earthy, it's a delicious wine. How much is Greg? How much is this?
44.
$44. Great bottle of wine that sticks to its traditional roots, not trying to be a Merlot or a Bordeaux of Rufina.
Good point, John. I think that our area, Rufina, we are only 20 producers. It's a small little piece of Tuscany, if you think, just 20 producers, and totally together it's 3 million bottles if you think about Chianti being 80 million bottles, so it's a very little, tiny valley. So in this area, the wines should never compete with the more blockbuster wines that come from certain part of the south of Tuscany or even from another part of Italy. We need really to think here about the finesse, about elegance, about long-dating potential. This is the main issue we have in Rufina. We try to develop this one. If we try to compete with the other, we are out of
Only 20 producers in Rufina. Wow, that's cool. Well, anyway, listen, I don't want to take too much time because people won't listen. Happy Canada Day. Thanks.
Happy Canada Day.
Cheers.
Cheers.